Good morning. It has been hot last week, and I thought I'd get out earlier to do a little gardening, but no, not as early as I wanted. I washed the dog first, and so I'm out when the sun is. But I wanted to show you something, because as I'm doing gardening and some yard work here, still not too hot outside, there's another way of looking at what I'm doing. Right? A new perspective. And I love to share those with you. So take a look. I'm showing you a shelf upon which we have some beautiful rose bushes growing. I just finished pruning those, so that bush right there had a whole lot more. And my goal today was to try and pick all the little grasses off the shelf here between the little pebbles. Because if I neglect to do that, oh my gosh, they just grow like weeds, right? And then I'm really stuck because they start seeding and there's just more where that came from. So climbed up on that shelf with my trusty ladder and went along this shelf looking for those little grasses and pretty much plucked them all, except for when I get down on the ground, on this level. And on this level, I can see quite clearly that I have missed some of those grasses. Perspective. Perspective. The way we look at things. The way we objectively gaze at our lives. And it made me consider that where I stand when I look at myself and at my life makes all the difference in the world. Perhaps it's the same for you. When I look critically at myself from above, looking down at my life, so to speak, looking at where my footprints have been and the people I've encountered and the mistakes that I've made and the regrets that I have of wishing that I would have responded a little more kindly, a little more patiently to the people in that particular setting in my life, I can be very harsh. I've got high expectations for myself, right? I'm a believer. I should be carrying that light into the world so that when people see me in action, they think of God. They don't think of Monique. But it occurred to me that perhaps my perspective makes a difference. I am not the be-all, end-all. I am not the only one that the divine sends into this world. And when I come down onto a regular height, not looking at myself critically from above, but really standing in my own shoes, looking at my life at ground level, I see things that I missed. I see instances, opportunities, and even times when I did succeed in bringing the light of Christ to others. So today, lesson, in the midst of heat, in the midst of gardening and weeding, our perspective of our lives and ourself matters. Are you extra harsh on yourself? Do you have ridiculous demands of yourself? Because God does not. God has walked a mile in your shoes in the person of Christ and understands the poverty and the burden of being human. Also the joy, but the inability to always act the way we want to. Perspective matters. Get down off that higher level, walk a mile in your own shoes, and pay attention to the good that is happening because you say yes every day.